Alright, people. Back at the Natural History Museum, I thought we'd go check out Underworld for a second. I need to get the Reilly's Rangers quest. I have to go off in here, but I'll talk to a few of the ghouls in here, kind of check this place out. Those of you who maybe haven't been here before. There are a few things we can get started here that I'm probably not going to mess with. There's one quest in particular. You got to shoot them in the head, where you go around and you essentially headshot a few unsuspecting people, various points around the map, to grab their key, and you put all those keys together, and apparently the guy that wants them, he takes those keys up to the same place that we got the Big Guns bobblehead. The CO's office down in the basement, there's a door you can get in there, and it leads to a special set of power armor or something. Anyway, it's his own personal little thing, and he comes off as if it's just a bunch of bigots who hate ghouls, and so he wants you to go shoot him in the head. Kind of an irony, you know, on how they think that you have to kill zombies, you have to shoot them in the head. So he's like, well, go shoot these guys in the head type thing. Then you find out that's not it at all. He just wants their keys.
Oh, well, would you look at that? We got us a smooth-skinned visitor. Ooh-wee. We ain't seen one of your type in a long time. You're in Underworld, Smoothskin. It's the only safe place for we ghouls in D.C. We're here out of sight and out of mind. The mutants leave us alone, and the slavers usually don't come this far into the city, so it's not bad. Really, the Brotherhood of Steel is the only thing we have to worry about. So long as we don't leave Underworld, that is. Bastards. They don't seem to be able to tell us apart from the Super Mutants. Or maybe they just don't care. They see us and shoot on sight. At least they have the common courtesy to miss most of the time. Still, bigots. Enjoy your stay. Just try and keep from shooting up the place. We got a nice little deal going on down here. We'd like to keep it nice. Me? I keep every hunk of old rusted pre-war garbage around here in operating condition. We've got lights, water, and ventilation all running off the old crap they used to keep this place going for the tourists. I've managed to keep it going so far, but, well, I'm not sure how long I can keep it up. We've scavenged just about all the scrap metal from all the places we can safely get to. We're scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Hell, not before long I'm gonna have to disassemble poor old Cerberus for parts. Hey, you get around, don't you? Tell you what, you bring me back any scrap metal you find out there, and I'll trade you whatever I can. We can work out a trade. We've got some stuff around here that we don't need, but a smooth skin like you might make use of it. Well, we got stim packs, but the doc keeps us healed up, so we don't really need them. So I could trade one of those for 5 bits of scrap metal. We also got us a ton of Radaway and Radex. I mean, what good is it to us? But I'll trade you either one for 5 bits of scrap. Your choice. Well, all right. That's good to hear, stranger. Just come on back to me when you've gathered some scrap metal. You'll find it just about anywhere. On junked robots, in old buildings, you name it. And not a moment too soon. For every 5 bits of scrap metal you give me, I'll give you a stim pack, some Radaway, or a dose of Radex. I need scrap, you need goods. We both win. We were driven underground, almost 50 years ago now. Between the Super Mutants, the Beasts, and you crazy humans, it's not safe up there. So we stay down here, out of sight and out of trouble. We get a few smooth skins every so often, but most of us don't trust them. You're not gonna give us more reasons not to be trusting, are you? Can you pay me? Then I can repair your stuff.
Alright, his repair skill isn't all that high. Something tells me between his deal and the deal where you can trade scrap metal for ammo and scrap metal for actual money and
Let me know if you
XP.
have any of that scrap metal to sell.
That this guy doesn't get a whole lot of trades for that, especially considering I go trade in like 2 pieces of scrap for a dozen rounds of 5.56, and he wants me to give him 5 pieces for something I can just find in any old med box anywhere. Yeah, that's probably not going to happen.
Yes, that's locked. And yes, I can see you eyeing it.
Oh, a human. Well, hello. Welcome to Underworld Outfitters. It's been so long since I had a customer. Well, we spend it at Carol's or the Ninth Circle. But I don't like it there. The rest we give to Quinn to trade for stuff we need whenever he goes out. Well, yeah, there's a lot of old pamphlets and stuff down here. I've pretty much read it all. It used to be part of the Museum of History. The exhibit that used to be here was focused on what happens after death, hell and whatnot. A lot of it was focused on this old book called Paradise Lost. It's about a guy who goes to hell. Pretty interesting stuff. I found a big box of copies of the book in one of the back rooms. Here, take one. Nobody around here wants them. At first, it was just a couple people after the war. This was one of the only places that wasn't falling down or on fire after the bombs fell. I think that Carol is actually one of the few that were here then. But over the years, word got around. There had been ghouls living in little pockets all around. Not really so much anymore. Most of them either went feral or ended up here. I'm sure there are still a few out there. But anyone with any sense is in Underworld. Not really. The Super Mutants leave us alone. I guess whatever they do that turns people like them doesn't work on us. The Brotherhood of Steel will fire on us if we're out in the open, but they don't bother us down here. We've had some raiders and slavers poke their heads in, but we've got Sharon and Cerberus and everyone else to take care of them. I guess when it comes down to it, being this far out of everyone's way is a good deal for us. Come back anytime. It's kinda lonely down here. If any of the armor fails to protect your life, I'll give you a full refund.
What a guarantee, huh? I guess that's something for them being down here wanting to be left alone. I guess the other part of it is, well, once you're left alone, you don't have any company, nobody to come through and trade. Would get kind of boring, I guess. But it's safe, more or less. He's actually got a pretty decent stock of stuff. Not a bad merchant here. This is definitely worth coming to Underworld for. Unload whatever I can.
Another satisfied customer. Come back soon, please.
I'm really kind of getting annoyed with running out of 308 rounds.
Don't mess with us.
I think I may actually go back to the pit and go press some 308 rounds.
Attention! Civilian on deck. This is a town full of peace-loving ghouls, so check your bigotry at the door. They're just like humans. They feel, they hurt, they bleed. They deserve the same love and respect as any human, and don't you forget it. At least that's what they programmed me to say. Personally, I think they're a bunch of rotting zombie maggot farmers, and I'd send them all back to hell if I could. Damn this combat inhibitor.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, I'm tempted. Just to see. See him go berserk. Oh, okay, all right. I'll refrain.
I am Cerberus. It is my solemn duty to guard the citizens of guard dog. Negatory. I have been programmed to remain on premises at all times. In the event of hostilities, I will respond with deadly force. Go, Underworld! Go, ghouls! Eh! Damn this pansy zombie programming. Resuming patrol.
Oh, why do I like that robot so much? Yeah, there's some things I want to get started here. I guess I don't need to set the robot loose on everybody now.
Ah! Jesus Christ! Don't sneak up on me like that. Last fella to do that damn near lost my arm. You're new here, yeah. You must be, since you're actually talking to me. I'm Patchwork. Or just Patches, if you like that. I'm... shit. I forget. Who, me? Yeah, I'm fine. I guess. No. Yeah. I'll be okay. I just need to try not to lose any more of my parts this time. And Doc Barrows says that he's getting tired of putting them back on me. So, you know, if you see any, just bring them back. You sure? Some people make me hurt myself. 'Cause it makes them laugh. What can you tell me about? Wait, what? Why, you want to head on over to the Ninth Circle and talk to Mr. Azrakal. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, the generators. I don't know where they are. You'll have to ask Winthrop. Bye. I'm keeping it together. Yeah,
Poor dude. Poor dude. One of every kind of character here.
Watch your stay.
Alright, so you got a bar on each side. And, oh, yeah, you got this guy. This guy with the amazing hair. The ghoul with the perfect hair. Okay.
Oh, hey, look at that. A human with hair. Hey, you think we can do something about that? Yeah, man, that's what I do. I cut hair. I know you look around here and there ain't a lot of work to show off, right? These corpses only got half a head of the stuff, so I never get a chance to work on a full head. Come on, no charge. Well, yeah. So, what else do I have to do except get high? You think that I need to be sober to cut a ghoul's hair? Half the work is cutting the skin off. These guys don't care how they look anyway. They just humor me. I prefer stylist myself, but whatever works for you. Everyone has a gift, you know? I used to live in Rivet City. Folks there had enough money for me to do okay. But after I, changed, no one would let me touch them. I ended up here. Of course, a ghoul with a barbershop makes about as much sense as a screen door on a submarine, so... fuck it. I just took up Jet. At least it passes the time, you know? Now we're talking. What do you need?
So I get this jet addict ghoul with perfect hair to cut my hair. That's awesome.
Pleasure doing business with you. Remember, no charge.
Okay, I didn't really want a haircut. This dude's just too cool, man. Too cool. Okay, now I think somewhere in here. Yeah, there. In fact, there he is, right there. All right,
Hey, you.
Mr. Crowley. That's the one that wants you to
I wanna
go.
talk to you.
Yeah, he wants you to go assassinate people for their keys. I'm not going to get started on that. I have no desire to help him get his power armor or to hijack him for the power armor. It's not a big deal to me, but anyway, that's the guy you would talk to do that.
Yeah, what is it? Oh my, someone new. I'm so sorry. You must think me terribly rude. Welcome. Welcome to Carol's place. I'm Carol. It's not much I know, but it's mine. So if you need anything, just let me know. Greta will get you any food you want, and I handle the rooms. It's so good to have someone new here, especially a pretty young smooth skin like yourself. I hope you like it here.
Ghoulification. Keep your eyes on those Geiger counters, kids. Tick, tick, tick.
Gob?
Aliens, run your ass
Yes,
out
of
there.
course.
Then pop some rat away for good measure.
He's my son.
If you
Well,
do need to head
not
into the heat,
really.
be smart.
Not like you would
Give
think of a
yourself
son.
nice boost of
We
rat
ghouls
ants
don't really work like that. But I love him like he's my own.
first. Now, some music.
Do you know him? Have you seen him? Is he all right? Oh, that's wonderful news. I'm so glad. If you see him, please tell him that his mother misses him and loves him and that I hope he's happy. But he shouldn't come visit. It's too dangerous. No, he should stay put where he is. That's right. Her and I have been together for, about 60 years now. But things haven't really been the same since Gob left. He was like a son to me. I think Greta was always a little jealous of him. Oh, that's such a long story. You couldn't possibly want to hear about that. Well, okay. But it's nothing special. I was born in 2051, so yes, that makes me a pre-war ghoul. I do. I was in a shelter with my father when the bombs hit. In D.C., we had the luxury of getting a warning after the West Coast was gone. I was just a little girl then. We couldn't afford a space in one of the vaults. I remember filing down into that shelter, my father rushing me in. He stopped to help this one family. And I looked up and called his name. There was a flash of light brighter than anything you can imagine. I woke up a few hours later. The first thing I did was run up to where my father had been. He was gone. But the strangest thing, there was his shadow, burned into the wall, so crisp and clear, like he was standing next to me. The heat had burned it into the concrete. The city was on fire for weeks, maybe months, I don't know. I hid down here in the museum. It was the closest building to the shelter I was in. But I could hear what was happening above. People howling like animals, chaos, looting, killing. It's like every foul thing inside of them came out. It was a nightmare. I don't want to talk about it. I don't know how it happens. Dr. Burroughs says it was radiation. All I know is that people kept showing up here in the museum. After things calmed down above ground, we tried to live down here as best we could. After a while, things got strange. My skin started to get dry and flake off. Everyone's did. It took a while. Months, maybe a year. But sooner or later, everyone ended up like this. Some of them went crazy. Some of us just accepted it. After a while, other ghouls would find their way in here, and Underworld just sort of grew. No one bothered us down here. We were happy enough to leave them alone. And once my Greta showed up, it was a good enough life for me. You tell the same story for 200 years, you'll feel pretty uninteresting too. been here since we founded the town. Before that, well, life out in the wastes wasn't very pleasant for us. But so long as we stay down here, we can live our lives as people, not monsters. I think things are better this way for everyone. Don't let these people get to you.
Apparently between hiding out here, perhaps she went out to see if she could survive above ground and came right back and just started this place. Apparently that's the gist of it. Yeah, I wouldn't want any part of what's above either, right? Okay, now this dude, hold on a second, let me talk to this guy.
Go talk to Azrakal. Talk to Azrakal.
Okay, I don't remember exactly how to get that guy as a follower.
Well now, looky here. We got us a smooth skin that I ain't ever seen before. I'm Azrakal, and this is the Ninth Circle. Folks got problems, and I got liquor to sell 'em. Well, liquor and a few other pick-me-ups. You need anything, you just let me know.
This guy is a sleaze. In every way.
Just east of here. Bunch of guys with guns are holed up there. That's Sharon. Let's just say, well, he's a loyal employee. Don't mess with me, and he won't mess with you. I hold his contract, which makes me his employer. He will do what I ask, when I ask, without question. You see, Sharon grew up around a very interesting group of individuals. They, well, I guess you could say that they brainwashed him. He is absolutely loyal to whomever holds his contract. Unfailing, unflinching, until the day that employment ends. Don't get me wrong. I have no doubt that he holds no end of animosity towards me. But so long as he is my employee, he is as gentle as a teddy bear. Oh, would you now? He's a highly valuable asset to me and to the Ninth Circle. What did you have in mind? You're kidding, right? Come back when you have a serious offer. You're kidding, right? Come back when you have a serious offer. I suppose we could do that.
Boys and girls, prepare to be
Although you might
astounded,
not like
bedazzled,
the
and
deal that I
otherwise
have to offer.
stupefied. I'm
You see,
your
I don't like
master of
competition.
ceremonies. Everyone ready for the Capital Wasteland's
It
latest
goes against
news?
every principle that I have as a businessman. So the fact that there is another source for booze in town
Wait till you hear the latest on the Capital
troubles
Wasteland's
me.
very own bringer
Greta,
of sorrow.
the waitress over at Carol's. I want you to kill her.
The kid from Vault
I don't care how.
101, aka
Just
the
make it
Wanderer,
quiet.
aka
Do
that
it, and you can have
crazy son of
Sharon's
a
contract.
bitch, has been spotted poking around some caves way out west. Makes perfect sense to me. The kid's had
Loyal
enough of the
employee
wild
that
and
he
woolly
is,
wasteland and is looking
Sharon
for
would
another
do
old
it without
vault to
question if
crawl
I
into.
asked him to.
Good luck with that, my
However,
friend.
the entire
Only
town
thing
would
been seen
come
in those
down on me
parts
for
is
it.
Yaogwai, Super Mutants, and
Greta
some
is
crazy
quite
mountain
popular
kids.
around here.
Thanks for listening.
If Sharon is the one who
children.
kills her,
This is
everyone will know that it was me
when you're
who
listening
ordered
to
Greta's
Galaxy
death.
News Radio. We're
I
Radio
need
Free
Sharon
Wasteland,
clearly
and
visible
we're here
and in
for
public
you.
when Greta dies,
And now a
so that I
super
can fairly
important
claim
public
ignorance
service
of the
announcement.
situation.
Don't feed the Yaogwai. That is all. Now,
No
some
stomach for
music.
hard work, eh? No matter. If you don't want to do the job, then come up with the cash. Otherwise, I'll just hang on to this contract. Feel free to lay your troubles at my doorstep. Just bring some caps with you when you do.
Yeah, there's a ghoul I wouldn't mind killing, but it's not Greta. I'm not going to go ruin Carol's life for this piece of crap. But I wouldn't mind killing this dude himself. Actually, I think Sharon wouldn't mind killing him for me either. All right, let's see. Let me go ahead and throw in a stealth. I think Sharon's contract might actually be in the safe. I don't remember. Seems like you can get away with not giving him the money. I don't think I have enough money to give him the 2,000 caps. He'll agree to that. I think it's a 2,000, or you offer him 2, and then I think he demands 3, and then I don't remember. It's been forever. But I do believe there is a way to do this. Anyway, let's see.
Back for more, eh? What can I get for you? I knew you'd change your mind. Just remember, Sharon is a valuable asset to me, and he doesn't come cheap. Are you ready to deal? You're kidding, right? That's a shame. I guess I'll just have to hold on to this contract a little bit longer.
Yeah, okay.
Why, whatever do you mean? I'm a simple barkeep, nothing more. Oh, no, don't be hasty. I'm sure that we can work out a compromise. Here, step this way and let me show you what I have.
Okay, it's like, is there some law in town that keeps people from selling mentats and jet and what have you?
Feel free to lay
Honestly, who cares?
Just bring some caps with you when you do.
I would think most people in the wasteland, if the next guy sitting next to them is a junkie, well, whatever.
Go talk to Azrakal. Talk to Azrakal.
Okay, well, I can't pick the safe. I can't pickpocket him for the key to the safe, or the contract, or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. I wasn't gonna get Sharon. I was just curious if I could do it real quick, but apparently not. So that's fine. Oops, what am I stuck on?
Hey.
You know, these figures here, slightly reminiscent of that figure that's on that monument down in the basement of the Dunwich building. Remember that? Anyway. Okay, now here's where I want to pick up Reilly. Or Riley's quest, anyway. This guy's got his pen of ghouls.
Dr. Barrows at your service. What brings you to the chop shop? Come to lend me a hand, I hope. I can always use fresh human samples. You haven't heard? I'm the foremost authority on ghoul evolution. I want to know what makes us tick. Something doomed us to this rotting form, and I aim to discover what it is. So, I need samples of human skin, organs, and other parts to make the experiments valid. Pity. Well then, what can I do for you? You be careful now.
Okay, I'll be keeping my body parts, thank you. I had a theory on this guy, too. Not a theory, but an idea. I'll share it with you guys in a second.
Hey there. Welcome to the chop shop. I'm Nurse Graves, Dr. Barrow's assistant. Don't let our place's name fool you. The doctor is very good with injuries, dismemberments, and trauma. If you require any stim packs or blood packs, let me know. Bye.
I'm afraid she's going to be out for a while. She's not well at all. Don't worry, though. I'm sure the rest of Reilly's rangers will show up soon and take her home. Oh, you must be new around here. They're a mercenary company that bases itself out of the DC ruins. I'm assuming she's their leader, Reilly. What was left of her armor had her name stenciled on it. She was in a pretty bad way when they found her outside Underworld. Oh, very well. I'll do what I can. I just hope her body can withstand the strain. Humans are so fragile.
Yes.
What? Where am I? What happened? How long have I been out? Huh? What the hell are you talking about? That isn't very funny. If my guys were here, they'd kick your... Oh shit! My team! What the hell happened? That's not the way I do things. Do you have any idea what it would do to my reputation if word got around that Reilly of Reilly's Rangers was laid up in a hospital bed? That's okay, kid. Don't sweat it. The Wasteland's a big place. We're Guns for Hire, the best merc group in the capital wasteland. If you need something done in there, you seek us out. We were mapping the Vernon Square part of the downtown ruins and got jumped by a super mutant ambush party. Usually it isn't a problem, but this group was bigger than usual. We fought our way into Our Lady of Hope Hospital, hoping to find cover. You got it. More of the ugly bastards just kept coming. We fought our way to the roof and found a way across to the Statesman Hotel next door. The super mutants seemed driven, like they smelled blood. They kept following us. Once in the hotel, the only way to go was up. Very bad move, but we had no choice. On the way, we lost Theo, one of my guys. We were unable to get the ammo case off of his body as we were pushed onwards. So, guns almost dry, we hit the roof of the Statesman. Actually, we did lay down a bunch of countermeasures. I don't know how many of them have already gone off, though. When I slipped out with my stealth boy, I think I almost tripped one or two of them. Damn near didn't make it out of there at all, come to think of it.
Obviously.
Get the Rangers home. Please. That's all I want. I don't care how you do it. Spoken like a merc. You sound like me when I was just a kid starting out in the business. Okay, Hotshot, how about a full suit of Ranger armor? It's the best combat armor in the wasteland. Or if that doesn't do it for you, I'll set you up with a minigun from our armory. Either way, you walk away with something. Whew. I was holding my breath on that one, I think. I wasn't sure what you were going to say. All I ask is that you hurry. I don't know how much longer they will be able to survive up there. I also recommend you try and find the body of Theo, one of my men. He was carrying our main ammo supply. Here, let me punch the ammo box code and some better directions into your Pip-Boy there. We have a headquarters not far from here. If you can make it there, you're welcome to anything you need inside. Just punch in Reilly 0247 at the gate. We have ammo, supplies, you name it. If I wasn't asking for your help, I'd tell you to stay away. It's thick with super mutants. I don't know why. Butcher, our team medic, has always suspected something's in the area they are looking for or being attracted to. The only place worse I can think of is the mall. Your best bet is to stay with the metro tunnels. Head north from here to Metro Central. Then look for the tunnels to the DuPont Circle Station. Exit from the DuPont Circle Station into what we call the dry sewers, and eventually you'll wind up in Our Lady of Hope Hospital. Not much, I'm afraid. Oh, wait. The hospital may have some supplies that will help you. We saw some storerooms on the way to the roof, but didn't have time to raid them. Okay, go ahead. There's 5 of us. Oh, wait. 4 now. I almost forgot about Theo. Poor bastard. Besides myself, of course, we have Brick, our heavy weapons specialist, Butcher, our medic, and Donovan, our tech. All of them have been with me for years. I trust any of them with my life. Before I left, I gave them an order to keep broadcasting for help over their radio. Hopefully, when you get near their location, you'll pick it up. We lost him on one of the stairwells on the 2nd floor of the Statesman Hotel. He almost made it, but one of the muties hit us with a frag grenade. Blew him apart. If you can get to his ammo crate, there's a ton of rounds inside. Bring as many as you can to the Rangers. Okay, go ahead. Watch yourself. Those ruins are badass.
This is actually one of the longer single, little side quests in the game. Considering, we got a road ahead of us. Not just to get to her team, but then after that to essentially help them escape and then go meet up with them again at the compound. It's a heck of a trip, even if you know where you're going. If you don't know where you're going, oh man, you can get
What's going on?
It's gonna take all day. But I have this thing with Dr. Barrows. Okay, now he's like the leading ghoul researcher, right? Trying to find a way to reverse ghoulism or whatever, and this and that. I was thinking, and as obsessed as they were with like the whole vampire thing in Oblivion, and of course the whole ghoul thing here in Fallout, is in Oblivion you had this really, really in-depth process to cure vampirism, right? Of course, they really hadn't introduced much of the werewolf thing there. I think werewolf was more of a rumor coming from up north, Skyrim. Of course, we know about the werewolves in Skyrim, but vampirism in Skyrim was, it was relatively simple. Just get a soul gem, go to this guy, and he cures you type of thing. There's not much to it, but in Oblivion, they had this long, drawn-out thing. Well, in this, I was wondering if they might not have introduced Dr. Barrows. I think the writers that were here in Fallout 3, I don't think some of them, if not most of them, are around much longer. I don't know that, but I know the writing style changed a lot from Oblivion to Skyrim, as far as the storyline goes and creating the whole atmosphere and environment type thing. And a lot of the cool little side things they put in, like if you notice here, everywhere you go, just about everyone has a story. I'll give you a good example. In New Vegas, when you go to like Prim, and you go in there, you got the old man in Prim and his wife and this, and they, you kind of get an idea of who they are, but they don't really have a story. A lot of people around don't really have a story. Not so much. And then here, they give each person their unique character and stuff. I'm not saying that's totally missing in New Vegas. It's just there's just not the same kind of writing there. Which you have different writers. The Obsidian guys did New Vegas, so it's a different direction they're coming from. But regardless, one of the things that it's one of those little, I don't know, it's kind of hard to put into words, but it's one of those little details in Fallout 3 which just makes it special type of thing, right? Well, Oblivion kind of had that too. I was wondering if they didn't have in mind a cure for ghoulism and the possibility to actually become a ghoul. And I say more than just because of Dr. Barrows is Three Dog on the radio. If you listen to to your Pip-Boy long enough, you'll eventually hear him say something about make sure you pop that Rad-X and stuff and keep some Radaway on hand, unless you become ghoulified, And so I think maybe they had the concept of bringing in ghoulism just like vampirism, and maybe that it would have some extra benefits, but also some downside, right? Like vampires, are weaker in some ways, but much stronger in others type of thing. It's very much a give and take type deal. And I wonder if being a ghoul, like maybe you can't use guns anymore, but you get extra points to melee and, I don't know, sneak and health regeneration, and when you're near radiation and, this type of stuff. And just a cool different thing to bring in a different kind of play style, But anyway, it was just a thought, and maybe they would have this long, drawn-out thing in Fallout 4 to go back and uncover in DC or somewhere near DC the formula for curing ghoulism. That you could actually become a ghoul if you get too many rads. Like, you know, you could become a vampire if you get bit by a vampire, same type of thing. And then if you let it sit too long or let it set in, or at some point you were going to become a ghoul regardless once you hit a certain point of radiation. In other words, it would give you a specific reason to avoid radiation, you know, not just standing in the stuff and saying, well, I got some rad away, I'll just get rid of it. But there actually be some consequence, and then you know, once it sets in, you just basically get like a timer going on in your head, and maybe your character starts to change over time until you become a ghoul, right? And unless you actually want to do that, and of course your charisma would have to go down to like 1 or 0, right? If that were possible, and you wouldn't be able to interact with a lot of NPCs anymore, but you would be able to interact with others when you couldn't. Maybe ferals would leave you alone from that point forth, you know, stuff like that. And there's just a lot of dynamics they could just throw into the game. Wouldn't really be all that hard, I wouldn't think. But I just have a sneaky suspicion that they had that in mind. I see no hint of that from you know, the trailer at the showcase. So like I say, some of those same people probably aren't around, and what some ideas they may have had have just kind of been lost in the wind. But it was a cool thought. I was thinking, you know, I personally probably wouldn't want to play as a ghoul until I played through the games a few times and I was bored and I just want to try something new type of deal. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. Just my thought that they were maybe introducing something like that. It just sounds like the type of thing that they would do.
Better her than me.
So I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that. If that would have been something pretty cool. I don't know if you guys like me. Well, me personally, I never really got tired of. I mean, here I am years later, still playing it, right? Never really got tired of Fallout 3, but I can say that at some point, maybe wanting to try something a little different, that running around as a ghoul in the game and seeing how it plays out differently, seeing how people treat you differently, who you can and can't talk to, some new funky things that might happen, and stuff like that. I don't know. Thought it'd be cool. Anyway, all right, so we are going to backtrack across some tunnels that we've already been through to do some parts of this, and basically go off in just a little different direction. We went, these are the tunnels in part that we traveled through to initially get to the mall from GNR and all that. And so we're essentially just going to retract some of it and then kind of go off in a different direction. Obviously, we're not headed to go fix the stupid GNR radio dish. This time we're heading off kind of in a different direction. We want to eventually get to, was it Vernon Square or whatever? And this is just straight up Super Mutant Central. I mean, the mall is too, really. Super Mutant Central. But we're actually going to see some different subway tunnels this time. I don't know how much actual map area the subways cover. You know, pretty extensive. I mean, they put a lot of work into these things, considering it's a whole essentially different game world underground. You know. Quite a bit of creeping around. If we do run into mutants, I expect to see overlords now. Once you pass that magical, what, level, I don't know, 14, 15, 16 mark, maybe 18, whatever, they start really introducing the high level ghouls and super mutants and stuff like that. Alright, so I think I go up. I don't know. I'm gonna look down here real quick. So see what we've got off to the side over here. May actually have a dead end, or okay. Actually, we've been here before. Yeah, there was like a little loot room and stuff. Okay, I know what this is. All right, so what we're gonna do is, when we get back up, we're actually gonna go up one more time and go to a completely new area. This is one of those areas where, depending on which way you go, you can essentially kind of get lost. Not lost, but get off into a whole different area. Like there's a way to go up the opposite direction. Go behind us, up that way. It leads to a whole different area. Actually, it seems like if we were to go up the escalators on the other side, that leads to the area, or an area close to where we'll eventually go when we actually go to meet Reilly and her rangers. We've got a lot of stuff to do between now and then, so... Obviously, we wouldn't go that way now, but, and we won't be coming back here specifically after we get through with, I don't know. We'll see. Like I say, it's a big place, easy to get lost. Surprise, mofo. Yeah, now, see, you turn this corner and you see a Reaver over here, you just move along. I'm not going to waste the ammo. Can I have some kind of stash over here? Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'll take any assault rifles it wants to give me. Alright. Enough of that. Let's get where we're going. Okay, now this is long enough that I'm gonna have to break it up at some point. I don't think any of you guys were wanting a full feature-length film, you know, that type of crap. Considering this could take easily 2 hours or longer. What I'll do is probably get to the hospital. Once we get there, we'll go ahead and cut it off there. And then in the next one, we'll get through the hospital itself and the hotel, get to the Rangers and rescue them and do all that. And then after that, I guess we'll go find Sydney. That's what I'm thinking. And look at this just random scavenger down here.
If the price is right, make me an offer.
Damn, he's living dangerous. He really is. It's not safe down here, dude. Actually, we'd probably go clear some of the ghouls out, but I know there's ghouls all around this.
Bye.
Yeah, this dude's brave. Okay. Yeah, okay. I guess he's just been up here real quiet up until now. Well, sorry, dude. I didn't mean to draw all the attention to you, but... You know, since you're busy, you got any ammo? Give me that. Yeah, whatever. I know, I'm a bad guy. Whatever. You know, still thinking maybe we should have turned off Cerberus combat inhibitor on the way out of Underworld. I don't know that I'll be going back there on this playthrough. Might have been kind of fun to watch him go berserk on all the innocent ghouls. I know that's really evil and everything, but it still probably would have been funny. And I love this gun. I can already tell you when I play Fallout 4, I want a 10mm SMG with a silencer and some kind of scope. Doesn't have to have the scope necessarily, but it would be cool. Maybe not a scope where you actually aim in like you're sniping, but a scope like a red dot type of thing or something. Holographic scope or whatever they have available, and apparently you can make it out of like an alarm clock lens and in a tin can and a Nuka-Cola bottle and all that cool shit, yeah, and some duct tape and whatever. I don't know, but 10mm silenced SMG with maybe an extended I don't know, it depends. From what I could tell, each thing that you add to your gun changes its performance. You know, its stats, like accuracy and range and fire rate and all this stuff. You give me a really high fire rate 10mm SMG with a silencer. Man, I'm gonna be a happy camper. Okay, there's a bear trap, and there's another bear trap. Okay, well, remind self, look down at floor. You know, I could have gotten that perk that where you don't set off any more floor-based traps. The only reason I'm not a big fan of that is if you're not aware of them, you can get your followers messed off, because you'll walk right over them, and then your followers will, of course, be tagging along loyally, faithfully, and wind up stepping in what you don't set off, or setting off some landmines and stuff that you're not aware of. You know, unless you've got the location of every single floor-based trap in the game memorized, and you know where to look for them and avoid them or whatever, disarm them. Other than that, yeah, it's kind of nice to have the perk, but your followers will tend to set them off for you. A lot of times they'll surprise you with them too. An explosion will go off and you'll take damage and be like, what the hell? Or explosion will go off and set off one of those nuclear generators next to you and kill off your whole party. Just out of nowhere. Okay, that's that scavenger up above. Probably some ghouls behind that door. Probably a Reaver, too. Like I said, I'll just save the ammo, thanks. They're not going to bother me, I won't bother them. Bam! Mmm! They don't pull any punches in the old blood and guts when you get a critical, do they? Doesn't matter where you hit an enemy, his arms and legs are liable to fly off. Hit an enemy dead in the face, arms and legs go flying anyway. And of course, with bloody mess, well, then it just gets ridiculous. Let's say that scavenger's brave. Just hanging out in the middle of all this crap. I guess he considers it safer down here than above ground. I think I'm shooting that dude and you ran right in front of my bullets. That's what I think I'm doing. Dumbass. Okay, what's this? Sleep the glowing one. And they shoot him in the butt as an insult to injury. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, that should have been... Oh, man. Are you serious? Yeah, just hang on to that last sliver of health for dear life. Okay. Whatever. I guess they're probably all coming up here to chase us down anyway. Okay, that was probably him right there.
I've got one. I've got your back.
Y'all got him? Y'all got him. Good deal. Alright, anyone else? Like I say, it's a bit of a trip. I have at least some idea of where I'm going too. If I didn't, it's really easy. Here is sometimes the direction it tells you to go doesn't really make sense. You'll think you have to go left, so you wind up down this long tunnel when really you needed to go up and around a couple times, then left. One thing I noticed in the showcase is the whole slowdown time. You know, it's not exactly just a freeze, but you just kind of take a slight pause a little bit to kind of aim in with VATS. I don't know if it's timed, like, you know, you actually have a timer that you can be in VATS. That would be kind of cool. Or even if you use it as something of a panic button, you know, like you get surrounded real quick or an enemy kind of jumps out at you in your face type thing or starts running by. A lot of times an enemy will run by faster than you can turn on them. And so, you know, VATS helps with that sometimes. But now maybe it's more of just like a slow time for just a short period of time to let you get off a couple shots or target in. Or sometimes it's really useful just to get a kind of a layout of the land type of thing. Like find out maybe how many enemies you have, or even finding out if you have an enemy in front of you. Sometimes wandering out in the middle of the wasteland, where it's just wide open all around you and stuff, you can kind of go in circles and just hit your VATS button to see if it triggers anything. I think the higher your perception, the longer your range is with that too, if I'm not mistaken. And you know, sometimes you can lock in on enemies that you didn't even know were there, type of thing. Not necessarily to help target them, but just to be just to discover them, type of thing. And I think that's a good use for VATS. I think that's even more realistic than actually freezing time so that you can heal up and fix some gear, repair some shit. Hold on a minute. I know you're in the middle of shooting me in the face with a full clip from your minigun, but I've got a couple stim packs to drop here, and oh yeah, I thought I'd repair a few of my guns while I'm at it. You know, now maybe change that a bit. Okay, this super mutant up here is becoming annoying. I'm wasting all my sniper rounds in this. Yeah. He's probably going to harass us if I don't get rid of him, though. And that was my last round. That's it. Alright, no more sniper rounds again. Yeah. I need to do something about that. I need to find somebody with just a crap ton of them. I remember Lucky Harriet sometimes having a lot of sniper rounds. And I just have, well, I haven't gotten lucky. I caught him with a whole bunch of them. As soon as I do, I'm buying every one I get a chance to. That's what I'm looking for with every merchant now. The 5.56 ammo, we're not doing too bad. We've got close to 3,000 rounds. It's not too bad. I'm more comfortable with about 10 grand.
This is Butcher of the Merc Company, Reilly's Rangers. We're in danger and need help. Our time is running out, and we are dangerously low on ammunition. Our broadcast point is the roof of the Statesman Hotel. If assistance is not possible, please attempt to contact Reilly, who's made for Underworld inside the Museum of History. Oh shit, here they come again.
Okay, that's their emergency broadcast, huh? Alright, so we're close anyway. We're literally right down the street from them. We're surrounded by super mutants right now. I could go off and just root all the super mutants out of their buildings and probably spend more ammo than I would get from that. See, I'm not thirsty for XP right now. I'm not really going to worry about it. Alright, but there's the door to the hospital. That's where we'll be going in a second. Doesn't look like a place of hope and refuge, though, does it? They did this so well.
Priority message. Backup is needed at our location. Any personnel listening on this frequency, please report at once.
Actually, I was just trying to turn that off, but that was the Outcast broadcast for the Operation Anchorage, I believe. Anyway, okay, done with that. Go back here. I think there's a medical box back here and stuff. See if I can make a phone call real quick. It's not. Alright. Nobody would probably be home anyway, right? Alright. Well, pretty much at a dead end, the end of this part of the city. But this opens up a whole new area. We'll be back into this general area at some point with the whole Broken Steel thing, assuming we carry on the story past the main storyline. Alright. Anyway, we'll go root through the hospital and get into the hotel. The next one. Thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe, click that button up top. Alright, for the rest of this Let's Play, click that image in the middle. And I will catch you guys in the next one. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.